in place, but I will try to make it brief for you. In the yogic traditions, always keeping physical distance has been very vital. No handshaking, no hugging, no kissing, this is the only greeting we do. We do the same thing to what we think is… what we see as divine, we do the same thing to the man, woman, child, animal, tree, rock, whatever we see. This is our greeting for everyone, including the divine. At the same time, why this is so is not necessarily because we were thinking of infections, because with every contact that comes with the body, when one becomes sensitive and receptive, you want to be receptive. When you become receptive to everything. There is no filter, I will only receive good things, I will not receive bad things, there is no such filter. Everything goes into us in terms of memory and impact on our life. This is called as runanubandha, you might have heard this word from India. So the thing is, the memory imprints keep on getting complicated with more and more physical contact. So always like this, when I come to America, people ask me, Sadhguru, where is my hug? I said, I have it in my pocket, I will come to you tomorrow. Today, like this. But I understand this thing, there are a lot of very brave people are already dead. These reasonably brave people want to give it to you. So they're acting, they just to fulfill their compulsions, they're coming up with philosophies of freedom, rights and nonsense and all kinds of stuff. Fundamentally, they need to drink, they need to drug, they need to go to the party, they can't sit in one place, that's their problem. They don't want to address that. They want to project this as some kind of a freedom that they have to go on the streets and infect everybody. And people are talking about herd immunity, scientific words are being thrown around by just about everybody. If herd immunity has come, as many people have said, minimum 60 to 80, anywhere between 60 to 80% of the population has to be infected. This means we will literally wipe out our geriatric population and also affect children below 1 year of age, and also all those vulnerable population, we may take them out. And that will amount to millions and millions of people on the planet. This herd immunity, what people are talking, is quite an irresponsible thing because that will inevitably happen at a later time, some point. But this is not something that you work towards, because in the process, the number of lives lost is not going to be simple. So this level of irresponsibility is because one thing is ignorance, another thing is today anybody can put up whatever they want on the social media, everybody running their own campaign, how this virus itself is fake, it doesn't exist. You know, to that extent it's going, a lot of voices from America are saying, it doesn't actually exist, they're just making it up, it's somebody's conspiracy. So that is because they want to have a haircut, they want to go to the bar, this is the real thing. So for this they're making up all this, this is a time when how responsibly you behave. By simply not doing anything, you can serve the world. These are rare times, you know, for those lazy people. If you don't do anything, you will serve your nation and the world and humanity in a huge way. At least that much they must do. If they can't take up some important work and do it, at least that much they must do, they must keep themselves to themselves. But unfortunately, they are not doing that. I understand the concern because it's everywhere. In United States, it's showing up on the streets in a big way, but in India also there is a segment of people who believe their God will take care of them, they don't need to follow any rules. Well, God may not take care, may take you, that is the whole thing. The whole thing is not to be taken by God, that is the important thing about life That is why the mask, that is why the social distancing behavior, all this. Unfortunately, even in a time like this, as a generation of people, when we have the highest capability to communicate to every human being on the planet in terms of social media, in terms of internet and everything, in spite of that, at a time like this, so easily you can misinform people is a terrible thing, but unfortunately it's happening. We would assume compared to previous pandemics like the Spanish flu, whatever, when there was no communication, whatever your neighbor said was the truth, you were always confused about what it is. But today we thought very easily you can put out the medical facts and say this is it. But unfortunately, look at this, how it is happening. It doesn't matter what technological tools we have, till we transform individual human beings, this is how it's going to be. Technology doesn't really solve the problem, it is only complicating the problem.
Thank you, Guruji. And I have another smaller question. There is this suffering about these migrant workers, and every time I see them, it's like so heartbreaking. How to cope up with that kind of anxiety, and there's so much suffering going on. And also, I have another request. In the last week of June, we are doing a worldwide COVID medical summit, and I would like you to come for a few minutes and bless us. Thank you.
About the migrant workers, I'm not trying to play it down, definitely it is happening. But we need to understand, if the government did not bring the lockdown suddenly without informing people, it would not have worked because people would have moved in a big way. So they had to bring it down, it has to be like a surprise element, that it had to just come in like that so that people stay where they are. But initially we thought it's 15 days, we thought people will manage, somehow we will provide food and do things, for which massive efforts have been made, but the numbers are so huge. But at the same time, this concern about migrant workers right now is simply because cameras are on them for the first time. These people who are walking just with a bag, which is their whole possession, a child and a bag is the entire possessions of their life. So you must understand how they were living in the city. Their life in the city was not any better than this walk on the highway. I want you to understand, it's that bad. So nobody saw that because no cameras went there. Now suddenly cameras are there. There is also a problem because the extension of this lockdown kept on increasing according to the needs. Every time they're studying the situation and going on increasing, a certain panic spread, and there are also people spreading that panic. There are people who are actually actively want to see a crisis evolve in the country. Those people are also there, creating fear among those people. See, right now the best thing even for the migrant worker would be just to stay put where he is. That would be the best thing. Over 85% of India's COVID cases are only in 13 cities. And from these cities, people are going all over the country back to their villages, which is a terrible thing to do right now. But for political reasons and for whatever, some people have fun seeing a crisis, that's the whole problem. People created so much fear and now they want to go back to their villages. When they go back to their villages, are they going to leave the virus in the train and go? They're going to take it to their families. People who are completely safe in the village, you're taking the virus to them, but now you can't stop them, it's become such an emotional issue. See, you being in Chicago, you have also seen those terrible images of people suffering and it moves your heart, it moves everybody's heart. But right now is not a time to go by our emotional responses, this is a time to do the right thing so that this doesn't become across the population and everybody suffering. We must limit it, that is the only thing we can do. We don't have a solution for the virus. Only solution we have is, fortunately, the virus chooses us as a mode of transport. All we have to do is just stay in one place, no matter what. Whatever our emotions are, whatever our situation is, just stay in one place. If this discipline the entire world, without a single person breaking it, if you do it for 15 days, it's gone. Am I right, sir? I'm asking you as medical opinion. That much we must do.
Perfectly correct, you are perfectly correct. So, again, I would like to request you to come for a few minutes and bless our global summit happening in the last week of June. Thank you, Guruji. It's an honor and I am humbled and also I am blessed to have these few minutes with you. Thank you.